my name is Dr. Sarah Wooten. I am a small animal veterinarian, and these videos are all about dogs. And in this video, we are going to be sharing with you, and when I say we, I really mean me, I am going to be sharing with you the top 10 signs, according to a veterinarian, that a dog trusts you. So let's get into it. The number one sign that a dog trusts you, any dog, not just your dog, is letting you rub their belly. So belly rubs, sign of absolute trust, right? I love dogs that will just roll over and show their belly to just about anything. They are some of the greatest sources of just innocent, beautiful trust on this planet. So the reason why it's so trustworthy is because the belly is where all the vital organs are, and it doesn't have any skeleton around it to protect it. And so a dog naturally, instinctively will protect that area of their body unless they feel completely confident and trustworthy and safe. So if you've got a dog that lets you rub their belly, you have a dog that trusts you. The number two sign that a dog trusts you is that they let you take treats, chews, food, toys, anything that they're kind of like chewing on or eating away from them. So in general, I don't recommend taking away treats or toys or chews or anything like that from a dog while they're in the middle of it, because it can be a source of confusion for the dog. And some dogs have issues with what I call resource guarding, where they protect whatever it is that they have from anybody taking it, whether it's a chew, a toy, food, you. Did you know that you can be a valuable resource for your dog? And if they growl when other people are around you, then they are actually resource guarding you. Yeah, and that's exactly what they're doing. But if you do have a dog that you do need to take a chew from them, so for example, if they're chewing on a piece of rawhide or something like that, and it gets down to where it's small enough to possibly choke them if they swallow it, and they let you take it from them and they don't do anything, that is a sign of trust. If a dog is eating and you pick up the food bowl and take it, sign of trust. I don't recommend taking anything from a dog while they're in the midst of using it. However, if it ever happens and the dog doesn't do anything and just kind of looks at you and lets you do it, sign of trust right there. You're a lucky person. Okay, the number three sign that a dog trusts you is they let you pick them up. So for a dog to be up off of the ground, not on their forepaws, is a very abnormal position for some dogs. Especially large dogs, right? They're not used to being like basically flying through the air. Even some small dogs are not used to it. And it can create some anxiety for dogs that don't have a lot of experience being picked up. However, if you do pick up a dog and you hold it and it's relaxed in your arms and it's not struggling to get away, or growling or doing any kind of, things that show you that it's not happy, then that's a sign of trust. That's a sign of trust that even though something weird and uncomfortable is happening to the dog knows in their head that you're somebody who's trustworthy and they're going to be okay. So kudos to you if your dog lets you pick them up. Okay, the number four sign that a dog trusts you is they let you lean over them. So if you think about it from a dog's perspective, like if you look at the world through your dog's eyes, a big, scary human leaning over a dog can be a very threatening gesture. And if you watch dogs in general, if you notice when humans lean over them, if they don't trust that human, they will like look up, they'll move away, sometimes they'll flatten down, sometimes their eyes will get dilated, sometimes they'll start panting. They'll show you signs that they aren't very comfortable. But if you have a dog and you lean over it or you stand over it and you put it in between your legs and you are over that dog and the dog is just happy as can be, that dog trusts you. And that is a good sign. The number five sign that a dog trusts you is they let you do grooming with them. And so what I'm talking about, brushing, is that one's not so big. A lot of dogs can tolerate that fairly well. I'm talking more about dogs that let you trim their nails without freaking out. That huge sign of trust, because In the nail, there is a nerve. It's just like our fingernail beds. And if that nerve is accidentally cut, it hurts a lot. And there's also a blood vessel in there that if you've cut that too short, you know that it will bleed. But that doesn't bother the dog nearly as much as that nerve, right? So if that dog is calm while you're trimming the nails and not panting or struggling or biting or growling or whining or any of those things, or if the dog is calm and happy while you're brushing their teeth, very strange thing for dogs to experience when you think about it, right? I mean, they have nothing in their ancestral DNA that has a Homo sapiens sapien lifting their lip and brushing their teeth. That is not a thing in their history. So the fact that a dog will let you do that or trim their nails, huge sign of trust between you and that animal. So the number 6 sign that a dog trusts you is eye contact, especially when they are unsure. So this is, for example, when you are at the veterinary hospital and the veterinarian wants to put the dog up on the table or do something with the dog. And the dog gets nervous for a second, and then the dog looks at you, right? That is the dog looking to you for reassurance that whatever weird thing is happening or about to happen is okay, right? So that is a dog that is trusting in you for things that it doesn't understand that are happening. So one of the things for me, where this really hit home for me, my dog Alma, who, by the way, taught me more about trust and love than any other animal on the planet, is when she had, I get teary when I talk about it. She had cancer last year, and she actually had it 2 years ago during the pandemic when nobody was allowed into veterinary hospitals, including me, a veterinarian, because I wasn't working at the time in a hospital, but I had a good friend who owned one. And so they needed to take her into the hospital and do an ultrasound on her to see what was going on. And she had already been to that hospital. She already knew that they, did not, they're wonderful people there, did a great job, but of course it's always very scary. And so I remember sitting out on the lawn, and I handed the leash to the other person, and Alma looked at me and then crawled into my lap and then just looked at me. And I said, "It will be okay." And she got up and walked in because she trusted me, right? That's a beautiful thing. It's something that we should definitely not abuse ever. And it's a huge sign that your dog trusts you when they are unsure about what other things are going on. So the number 7 sign is kind of like the number 6 sign, but it's less to do with eye contact, and it's more to do with they act confident with you, they act more confident even when they are scared or unsure. And again, my example here is the veterinary hospital. Veterinary hospitals are very scary to most pets. They smell weird, they sound weird, they look weird. There's just a lot of weirdness going on in there, and animals pick up on that. So if you have an animal, a dog, that goes to the veterinary hospital with you and is happy and confident the entire time that you are there with them, that is a sign of trust. That even though they're in a position where they're not sure and it's weird and they are scared, they feel more confident just because you're there, right? It's kind of the same thing to where, I think between human adults and their children, children will often exhibit higher levels of confidence if their parents are around, if they have a good level of trust with them. Same thing with your dog. So if you have got it to where you can take that dog into circumstances where it might be a little scary, but that dog still acts confident, that is a sign of trust. Good job. You're doing a good job. The number 8 sign that your dog trusts you is that they will wait patiently and calmly at home for you while you are gone without creating any kind of drama. And when I say drama, I mean howling, barking, digging, inappropriate elimination inside the house, chewing, all those things, right? Those are all behaviors that are associated with anxiety, separation anxiety. And those dogs believe with their whole little doggy hearts that when their parent walks out the door, they don't think they're ever going to see you again. So they throw a huge dog tantrum all over your house, right? So if you have a dog that doesn't do that, guess what? You have trained that dog to be confident not in your presence, good job, and trust that you will return. So that is a wonderful sign of trust. So the number 9 sign that your dog trusts you is that they'll allow strangers to touch you when they are with you. So a lot of dogs are very leery about people they don't know touching them. You know, I'm not talking about the golden retriever that's best friends with everybody. I'm talking about dogs like an Australian cattle dog, which is an extraordinarily loyal dog, one-person dog, right? But these dogs can also be trained to be able to tolerate other people touching them. So if you have a dog that allows other people, that is friendly with other people and allows them to pet him or her when you're around, that is a sign of trust in you, actually, and it's a sign of trust in other people as well. So that is a very well-adjusted dog, and that is a beautiful sign. And the number 10 sign that your dog trusts you is that they obey you, even in the face of unfamiliar circumstances or distractions, right? It can be very hard for a dog to tolerate something like having their blood drawn and then to sit very nicely for it, right? Because they have strangers who are holding them. They have sharp things that are poking them. Everything smells weird, looks weird, sounds weird. It's not okay for the dog. But if you're there and you have told that dog to sit and stay, and then the dog does it and doesn't try and struggle or anything, that is a sign of love, trust, and devotion in you. And that is an amazing sign of the bond that you share with this animal, that even if when they're faced with something that they don't quite understand or like, they will still obey you and trust you and listen to you. Awesome job. If that's you, you're doing a great job. So there you have it. Those are my top 10 signs that a dog, any dog, whether it's your dog or another dog, trusts you. Right? And that trust is a beautiful gift that these animals give us, and it's our job as their caretakers and advocates to not abuse that trust, right? So do everything you can to continue to foster that relationship with your dog and enjoy it for all the quality that it brings both of you guys. So I loved making this video. Thank you for bearing with me as I told stories about my dog. I would love to hear stories from you about your dog. So leave me a comment below in the comments section. If you like these videos, you feel like you're learning something or just having a good time, that's okay too. You can subscribe to them. We are going to be making some videos that are all about health, behavior, relationships with dogs, and I will be back more to help you guys continue to foster this beautiful relationship. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again soon.